Hi friends, it's Prairie Vintage and I'm an energy reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energy frequency to you guys, beautiful viewers. I am an energy reader predominantly, and I just wanted to put a video together here to get into how grateful I really am for my subscribers and also the collective shift in energy that is happening right now. Okay, so first off, I really wanted to send a heartfelt thank you for my subscribers that have been there, since day one. Now, interesting because I've been getting like massive downloads in the last 2 weeks and everything's kind of flooding in. And one thing that came to me was when subscribers would fall off, and I was like, okay, obviously, you vibrate at a certain level and people are in your life for a certain period of time and they serve their purpose and then they leave or they stay for a while. And my intention was always to serve whatever purpose, whether it be for a season, a day, doesn't really matter so much. But my intention was to deliver a message here from Spirit. So when I started this channel, it was, even if I can, send out a message that's going to give one person clarity, then that's cool. But clearly, I didn't want to invest so much of my time in something that wasn't going to go anywhere at the same time, right? So why I'm telling you guys all of this is because the collective energy I feel here is going through a similar mindset of why am I experiencing something in my life, okay, that seems a little bit like counterintuitive or counterproductive. So some of my old videos, I cringe. I cringe because I was just obviously my first time doing videos like this on YouTube. It took some time to really get used to and understand. Although I've read cards for a very long time, it's very different when you're reading in person from when you're putting a video together. So those videos in particular, I didn't delete any of them, but there are times where I was like, I don't know why they're still there. And I'll tell you why they're still there. It's because there are certain people in different spiritual levels, okay, of their ascension process. And so when I compare myself to, let's say, these brilliant, tarot readers online, it's like, oh, like, I watch them in awe and I'm just like, oh, wow, like this person has a skill or a talent. And, and I learned to see myself as someone who's developing in this area. And then I thought, okay, interesting how everyone starts off at a certain point. And I get beautiful messages and compliments from you guys. Thank you so much. That the readings are helpful, and I've received them from my first videos. Obviously, I'm still receiving them as I go along, and I'm thinking like, okay, so those videos served a purpose. And although I look and they seem pretty amateur, pretty, I'm communicating a message definitely from Spirit, but as my ascension process evolved and my ability to tap into Spirit, so did my videos, okay? And in the last 2 weeks, I feel like I'm tapping into a collective energy here that is coming to me. And it's so interesting because I'll watch other videos from other readers and I'm totally in sync with whatever collective messages that they're delivering. Prior to me even, knowing about 777 portals and planets in retrograde and, moon energy, although I've been in tune with the moon for a long time, you know what I'm saying. I'm not an astrologer or an astronomer for that matter, although very connected to energy. So what I'm getting at is that I don't know any of those things, okay? And so when I hear other spiritual teachers, healers, light workers talk about these things, and it totally lines up with the collective energy I'm picking up. It's like, okay, like this just gives me confirmation that I'm ascending and tapping into a greater collective message here. Okay, so this channel, I'm going to probably use this as some sort of intro. By the way, if you're new, welcome. I'm Linda. We do things a little differently here. Linda with an E, not an I. Lenda. So, different here as in, I keep it real, okay? And when I say real, I ain't going to sugarcoat or bullshit you into some sort of belief of something. I try to deliver a positive message in the best way that I can, but the message doesn't get watered down. And in my disclaimer, I talk about messages being very nuanced, okay, or pointed. So if I say, you know, this person is deceitful, deceit has a scale here, right? Maybe someone wasn't being completely honest, or maybe you felt like you were slighted by someone, but it comes through as a deceit or a lie or a big betrayal for me to be able to pick this up and communicate. So definitely up to you to find the nuance in whatever reading. So my readings could be quite dramatic. Keep that in mind when you watch the videos, because it may show, you know, as pain and as deceit and as fear and as, but there are blended energies that get there. So yeah, if you keep that in mind and use your own scale in your intuition so you can gauge what that means to you, then I think these readings will resonate a little bit more rather than hearing deceit and thinking, well, this person didn't lie to me, and you're kind of on to the next. So why I'm telling you this is for my new viewers, although I feel like my new subscribers, you know, are subscribing to me for a reason. They're resonating, and definitely my past subscribers have been with me, so I feel you're resonating or vibing on the same level. Now, I also wanted to communicate back to the levels of, you know, when we need a spiritual teacher. So my new videos could be, like I said, quite watered down in a way that's not really, I don't know, like I felt as though amateur, right? So, but somebody needed to hear it, and it provided some sort of comfort and some sort of information to somebody. And that's the whole point, is that we could be comparing ourselves, you know, to whatever idea we have of where we're supposed to be or who we're supposed to be or how we're supposed to be, you know, rolling out whatever we want, because there's a right or wrong way, or something makes us feel a little bit like it's not how we envisioned ourselves, so it doesn't feel right, but we're growing throughout that process. So I think Spirit was trying to tell me, like, allow the process to happen. And I feel like within the last couple of weeks, like I was saying, with all these downloads, like a huge shift in my energy. So my videos may change. I mean, I'll still continue the pick of cards and the zodiac readings and the collective readings for sure, but maybe the messaging might be a little bit more different. So I do feel like my subscribers are definitely in tune, and I think we're ascending at the same pace. So I don't feel I'm going to be, you know, losing a whole bunch of you guys. But if I do, I totally understand why, is because, you know, there is a shift in energy, but I feel we're going through it together. There's this transitional period that I'm sensing and picking up in the collective, and even in my private readings that I've been doing in the last little bit have been predominantly, and even some of my readings, my free readings here on this channel, have been you guys shifting out of an energy. And you're shifting out of an energy of, you know, a place where it might have been really dark at some point, could have been the dark night of the soul, a very lonely place of sorting through. And now it's like a bridge period where we're transitioning, and it feels out of alignment in some way, because we're trying to navigate and follow our intuition. And as we follow our intuition, we're like trusting that we're being guided in the right direction. And we could have been listening to tarot reading after tarot reading and been in a dark place. And I know for myself, like I've had readings and tarot readers that have completely tarot readings. I don't know if I said terror, tarot readings seem like terror at some point. You know, where you're buying whatever information or energy because you're resonating. And then after a period of time, you're like, maybe even resentful, you know, like, okay, I've been hearing the same freaking message for the last 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it was. And then you start cursing God or spirit, or doubting your intuition, or your tarot readers that are giving you these false hopes. So here I don't give false hope, okay? I'm reading energy. So if I've delivered a message to you, that's the energy that was sitting in that energetic frequency. And we can change whatever energy is, you know, unfolding based on our action. And this is why we watch tarot readings, so we can intervene and change things in a way that we want to see an outcome that we want, or that we feel more in line with. So it's really there to confirm intuition. So you'll notice in my readings, I'll say, come up with an object, a place, a color, a person, something for you to hear, see, when the cards unfold to develop your intuition. And people are like, bitch, I don't want to have to do anything. I don't want to have to like breathe or meditate before my reading. And trust me, I'm not telling you what you have to do. That's not like me at all. Do whatever the heck you want. But why I do this is because I'm really here to develop your intuition, okay? And your own belief in your intuition and self. And some of you guys have awesome intuition. You're not even questioning it. You're resonating. You don't. And sometimes I notice some of my subscribers will leave a comment like, oh, this one didn't really resonate. And I felt their energy there. So I encourage you, if you don't resonate at first, it could be that you're dipping into a different energy at the time that you watch that reading, and come back at a later date, and you may. Or the fact that, again, the person might be deviating from their intuition if they're second guessing themselves, okay? So I just want you to develop your intuition as best you can, however you do it. For me, I like to encourage my viewers to do this as a way to build rapport and trust, okay? Because I'm not going to throw out something out there and then it doesn't happen. And then you say, oh, Prairie Vintage gave me this reading and it's so far from the truth, or it didn't happen. It's like, okay, well, I want you to trust that what I'm delivering here is an energetic frequency that is coming from you, okay? Also, as my subscriber base grows, what I was perplexed with at first was I want to help as many people as I can, and if it's one, it's fine, but like, obviously my dilemma, like I said, I can't just be onesie and spend, and quit my job and read tarot cards and help one person. Like, I'd love to be the Messiah here, or like the martyr of sacrificing everything, but that can't happen. So I was like asking Spirit, like, what is this? And I'm not even one that likes all this public stuff anyway. So I was like, I don't understand what this is all about. Help me to understand. And I got this message from Spirit that as my subscriber base grows, I don't have to have a shotgun approach. I don't have to touch everybody's energy, okay? In fact, this is how the shift is happening. I feel I'm getting very specific, okay? The last reading I did was a collective reading, and it was very specific, somebody literally giving birth, and I don't generally like to put that out there because giving birth, like, that's some crazy information, but that's exactly what was coming in the energy that I had to deliver. And I've had this a couple of times already, that same energy and that message coming through. And it's funny because I've watched a couple of collective readings where they're talking about giving birth, like physical birth here, and also how the collective is in this transitional state. So later, I was like, oh my gosh, it was a collective reading, which I felt was also definitely a personal message for someone who is listening. But the collective message was pretty much the same, was that you guys are birthing something new, okay? And we're in this transitional period here, going from whatever dark place, whatever it was, whatever lessons, maybe cursing God, saying, why am I having to go through this? And feeling like it's not useless, but you're sacrificing yourself, or you're learning something here that you're not seeing a greater purpose here. And what Spirit's confirming here in the download through me, what I really feel strongly is that there is a greater purpose. And as you continue to ascend and go through this awkward transitional period, it all starts to align and get very specific to your purpose, to the new you of where you're supposed to be kind of going. Because I feel right now there's this knowing that you're being guided someplace, trusting your intuition, but still feeling like you're feeling around blindly, trying to navigate, and it feels kind of lost, maybe like like in a fog, or trying to sort through the dark and find your way through. So that could be very frustrating, okay? But I feel like the intuition, Spirit is really guiding you through this, and the more you lean on your intuition and trust yourself and stay grounded and in tune with what Spirit is communicating to you, you'll find your way through this and get more accurate and more concise. So as I ascend here, I think what's going to happen is I may lose some subscribers because they're not vibrating on whatever frequency of the messages, because I was really fearing, well, what happens when I get to, even like 500 subs or like 1,000 subs? I want to deliver these messages. And it comes to me and I'm going to have to communicate it, and it's already getting kind of messy. So I was like, putting out to spirit, like, how do I capture these messages? Do I pick the ones that are the loudest, the ones that are really, like more prominent for the people, but like, what if there's a small percent, but it's more of a important message? Like, I was getting very much wanting to do the best thing, okay, that would communicate something here. And what spirit was telling me was, let people fall away that don't resonate with the specific message. So this isn't going to be a shotgun approach. I'm not going to say all of these people, this may apply, it's going to be quite specific. So I realize and recognize some of you guys may fall away, but I feel it's going to build a rapport, and potentially, the individuals that start to kind of come into this collective frequency that I'm picking up, it will strengthen the message and it'll be more aligned to that specific message. Okay, so my intent and my commitment is really to deliver something more specific. And, like I mentioned in my videos, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. It could be a little quirky. Yeah. So that's just me. And, I hope that I am a reader for you, but if it doesn't jive or resonate, that's cool. Hopefully at some point we connect. But I do feel like there is something about having a specific message here that's going to build trust in what it is that I'm communicating to you. Okay, and spirit likes to communicate in metaphor. So again, back to that last reading I did with the giving birth, and I was like almost like held back by not wanting to say this, and I got download like straight away after that video where it was like, it was a metaphor for the collective, because I was intending on delivering a collective message, and I'm like torn because I'm also getting this important urgent message that needed to be delivered to someone, maybe a couple of people there, that was really specific about giving birth and having a baby. So I think the message was resonating for pretty much 99% of the people there, which was the collective is birthing something new. And sometimes I could take the metaphor and see it as something literal. So I'm not perfect, I'm human. So if you're hearing something that I'm communicating, it might be a metaphor, and I might be taking it literal. For one, I'm a Virgo and pretty practical, but I'm not that stupid. So eventually I get the metaphor, but it might be at the most inappropriate time. So anyway, I did want to communicate that, and maybe some of you guys haven't even watched that video, or are like, what is this? And this is supposed to be my intro video. Again, welcome if you're new here. This is how we roll. But I wanted to deliver that because there might be a shift here in how I'm delivering messages. Like, I still intend on delivering obviously what I'm getting here, but I ain't going to be in an energy of trying to touch everyone. If it's whatever coming through me, that's what's going to be communicated. And if it gets very specific, it might not be where you're resonating. And I do hope you're ascending, but we all ascend in different ways. So I feel your spiritual teachers or people, your soul group, is going to arrive when you need them. So I'm definitely here in your life because we've manifested each other in some way. And whatever message I was able to deliver to you, I am grateful for that. Absolutely. And I really want to learn from you guys as well here. So I'm so thrilled at the people who I'm, pulling in, because I can tell by the readings I'm doing, by the private readings that you guys are reaching out, that you guys are really intelligent people here who have very spiritually, depth to your spirituality and a wealth of intelligence, where I'm like, wow, these are the people that are being called to my video. So it's pretty cool. And I don't think you're delusional people, because I do get a few of you guys who I'm doing readings. It's like, am I nuts? What's going on? And, questioning your intuition and that. And I'm just like, you're in a phase of sorting through it and figuring it out. And it kind of makes me smile, because it's like, yeah, you're totally ascending. You're going through sorting through what that looks like. So I was feeling very blessed. I was feeling very, very overwhelmed by downloads, because they're all coming to me at once, but I wanted to communicate that for you guys. And something that kind of triggered it was, I was thinking back to when I was younger, And I pierced my own eyebrow, and I got my chin pierced. And, my dad, who's passed away now, he's like, oh, you're going to regret it, and don't ruin your lovely face, you tell me. And he was just, didn't like it. And no matter what he said or what he thought, although I did respect him, I was going to do it anyway. I was going to pierce my face because that's what I wanted to do. And so when I was driving my daughter, this is when the download came. She's so beautiful, and she likes getting lash extensions with, make no judgment. She likes lash extensions, and she's constantly getting these lash extensions. I was like, oh, I remember when you were a baby and you had such beautiful lashes. And, and her lashes are like falling out because she's getting these lashes done. And I was like, oh, if she loses all her lashes, I'm going to miss them. Is what I was thinking, which was a silly thought, but I was like, I knew if I said anything, because she's 17, same age I was when I pierced my eyebrow, she's going to either just be like, okay, Mom, this is like useless, like I'm still gonna get my lashes done, or still want to do what she wants to do. So I refrained from making her feel bad or saying, oh, you're gonna lose your eyelashes. And what I'm getting at here is that when we're going through a phase of adolescence, we have to learn whatever we're learning here, no matter who we respect, whether it be a tarot reader, a friend, a spiritual person, another being who you might be developing a relationship with. When they're in your life and they're telling you something, either energetically or communicating it to you, you might not feel it the way it's intended to align you with the truth at the time that you hear it or feel it. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. So people in your life, could be your parents, could be your spiritual partner, could be anybody like a tarot reader who is communicating something to you, and you're hearing something that might not be resonating or just might not impact you at the time that you hear it. And the reason being is because everyone is at a certain level in our spiritual growth. We could be an adolescent, we could be an infant, we could be like some guru, right? So if somebody told me now, ooh, don't do that, the bad experience, I'll want to know more, and I'll take their experience and I review it still and come to a conclusion. But, as an adolescent, if someone said, don't pierce your face, I would just be like, well, okay, I'm still doing it, right? Because that's what I want. So the point being with this spiritual growth, what we're experiencing is if you are in a stage, infant, right, getting right into your spirituality, you could be adolescent, going through the dark night of the soul, walking through blindly. You could be in a more experienced state. So we're now intaking the information that we're getting, and it falls differently and it resonates different with our soul. So I feel like if I'm delivering something here, it may not be resonating with your soul or speaking to you in a way because you might be in an adolescent stage or in an infant stage, or you might be at a guru stage. And what I'm saying is just like, I've experienced that, years in the past in my spiritual ascension, whatever it may be. But all I know is that whatever it is I'm communicating here is at a certain level in the spiritual path. And these are the people that I'm going to be resonating with. But this is also confirmation I was getting from Spirit that past videos are still useful, even if I was in my infancy stage or in my adolescent stage, because there will forever be people in their infancy, in their adolescent stage. Even gurus, when they go back and they start to teach something, they look back on their students, their lessons, and they learn something, okay? So I'm not erasing any of my videos. I am so grateful, that I'm ascending and that I feel a shift in my ability to connect and to deliver these messages. And I am very blessed and grateful to have you guys here. But if you do see a shift, this is definitely, I could feel it happening, and I'm getting, a message from Spirit with this. But this is also encouragement for you to allow yourself to be open to understanding that you're somewhere in the spectrum of the spiritual path, and it's not linear. So you could be in multiple stages, experiencing multiple things, and asking like, why is this energy resonating, or why is it not resonating, or why did it resonate here and then it didn't, at that point in time. And it's like, because sometimes when we're on our path of intuition and really in line, it's like, yeah, and these messages are coming in and you're like, on point. It's like, yeah. And then sometimes you could fall off, be questioning your intuition and listen to things. It's like all of these messages are jumbled. None of them sound consistent. what am I supposed to do? And Spirit's wanting you to pull from within you that intuition to guide you, that you're not needing someone to feed you the information, right? Especially if you're listening, again, to tarot readers and you're getting a bunch of messages, I encourage you to put it away for a bit and really lean in on your intuition, because Spirit's wanting you to come up with some sort of guidance within yourself that's, that's more in line with what you're supposed to be doing, so that you can have the growth and lean on yourself. You don't need someone else to tell you what your energy is coming in, or what you're experiencing at certain points in your growth. And at other times we do, because I feel like, because this isn't shame at all, because I feel like tarot readers at some point in time help people who have no one, who have lonely nights, who cry themselves, in a period where they're really like desperate need of having information. And so I find that it really is helpful, if you're in a state and at a certain point, it's like Spirit will cut you off and be like, hey, develop this in order for you to ascend, for you to grow your own self spiritually. And then you can fall back into the path where readers are making sense. And the ones you used to resonate with, might fall away, and you might find a new teacher, or you might listen to several readings that are all kind of in line, and you're like, okay, I'm back on path here, right? So this is how it works. I know a lot of you guys were asking me about how energy works or what's going on. Well, at least this is my my delivery of what it is, and that's all that matters here for me, is my own perception of what's going on and my own ability to communicate what I'm getting through a frequency here. And the only means I really have is my words and how the cards are coming out and what it is that I can deliver to you through this vehicle. Okay, so that is my intention. But I did want to shout out to you guys how blessed I am to have you here, that I'm going to keep it, as true and as specific as I am able to build the rapport. And if I ask you to use your intuition in some sort of way, it is for a reason. And I do trust your intuition over mine. And I do say that in many of my videos. And that is a truth, because I cannot tell you where your frequency is and your energy better than you can. Okay. And when you're in tune with whatever energy, we might resonate again. So we might fall off, we might fall on. I hope you stay when you are off, so that you can come back and maybe we connect again. But totally get it that sometimes people fall off and we outgrow them. So I'm so honored. Again, I can't stress it enough to have you guys here. You guys are a great group of people. I feel very blessed for the quality of subs that I have brought in. Although it might seem really low to everyone here, because I do get comments like, I don't know why I have low subs. It's like, I'm kind of fearful, and maybe that's what's holding me back. I'm fearful because I didn't want a whole bunch of people up in the energy that I wasn't able to deliver or communicate. So I was afraid of letting people down, or fearing that I couldn't communicate a message. And now it's like, okay, if my subs grow, if they don't grow, my intention here, now that I have confirmation and I feel confident that I'm just going to communicate kind of more of a collective truth, a more truth that's more specific, than if people do fall away, I'm just going to pull in the people that are more aligned. And it's even more of a powerful punch of a message here. So that's the intention. Anyway, I was intending on doing a video. I was going to do the Zodiac videos as well. For the back half of this month. A little ambitious. We'll see what comes out, but I did want to deliver this, and I do want to thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you stick around. I'm super excited for delivering whatever downloads that I got within the last 2 weeks in the upcoming pick-a-cards and collective messages. I hope you join me, and if you're new to this channel, again, welcome. I hope you subscribe, and yeah, that's my message. All right, peace out, people. See you soon. Bye.